There have traditionally been only two images accepted as the true portrait of the man who is generally acknowledged as the greatest writer in English language, William Shakespeare. One is his monument bust in the Holy Trinity Church in Stamford-upon-Avon, and the other is a famous engraving by Martin that was used as the cover piece of the first folio of Shakespeare's work known as the Flower Painting. Both paintings have since been proven to be fakes. A 2005 investigation of the flower portrait led to the conclusion that it was painted in the 1800s. How can this be? The painting was signed and dated in 1609. It was later x-rayed in 2005 and concluded that the golden braid of the doublet was painted with chrome yellow, a pigment which was not available before around 1814. Using modern techniques, experts were able to decisively conclude that both paintings were done after Shakespeare's death in 1616. The chairman of the Shakespeare Birthplace Trust, Stanley Wells, unveiled a painting that had been in the house of the Cobb family outside of Dublin for centuries, that is now suggested to be the only image of the bard painted from his life. The painting bears resemblance to a painting once thought to be Shakespeare and attributed to a Flemish painter, Charles Jansen, that is now in the National Gallery in London. Though the painting has been established to have been of another person, and then to have been altered before 1770 to make it resemble Shakespeare, it is what prompted Alec Cobb to begin inquiries among Shakespeare's scholars and art experts to see if his family's painting was indeed of the great playwright. If we are ever to know scientifically if this is indeed the picture of William Shakespeare, we must know if the painting is authentic. Modern techniques of determining authenticity have come to age, and I will go over how each one of them can be used in determining the authenticity of the painting. Spectrophotometry, or laser-induced breakdown spectroscopy, is light that is quantized into tiny packets, and the energy of which can be transferred to an electron upon collision. You can use spectrophotometry to view different substances on the UV side of the light spectrum, and to search for the DNA within the artwork. Because most artwork was made with organic material during the time, such as paints, inks, paper, textiles, and brushes, one could compare the medium of the artwork to other art pieces of the time, or other artwork made by the artist. On the other side of the electromagnetic spectrum is infrared light. Although we cannot see infrared light with our naked eyes, we can detect it as heat. Infrared reflectography identifies markings or drawings that lie underneath the paint surface. In the old masters, underdrawings were often drawn directly on the canvas, as a kind of plan for the painting. Examining underdrawings can help establish a painting's authenticity and can be compared against the artist's style. Infrared radiation can also detect authentic signatures that are indistinguishable to the naked eye, or can reveal fake signatures that were added years after the completion of the forged painting. Several techniques involving X-rays are routinely applied in the study of works of art. These include radiography, X-ray diffraction, and X-ray fluorescence. Radiography provides information on conditions and previous restorations or repairs. In the case of paintings, invisible aspects of the painting techniques are often revealed. X-ray diffraction is used primarily to provide specific identifications of crystalline inorganic material, such as pigment, corrosion products, etc. Standalone X-ray fluorescence systems provide qualitative or quantitative information on elements in an object or sample. X-ray fluorescence in an electron beam instrument provides general element composition and information, and in some cases is used for quantitative analysis of a wide variety of inorganic material, including ceramic, glass, stone, and paint samples. This analysis also provides microstructural information at the same time. All three procedures can provide important evidence when the authenticity of an artifact has been questioned. X-ray crystallography is a method of determining the arrangement of atoms within a crystal, in which a beam of X-rays strikes a crystal and scatters into many different directions. From the angle of intensity of these scattered beams, a crystallographer can produce a three-dimensional picture of density of electrons with crystals. You can use X-ray diffraction to test to make sure that the substance used in the paintings were of the time period. For instance, if the synthetic paint that was used was found to not be made until the 18th century, such as the flower painting, then the painting would be considered a forgery. Radiocarbon dating, radioisotope dating, and isochron dating measured the known half-life of radioactive decay in elements. For example, the decay of uranium into what is known as the daughter element of lead. You can analyze these certain elements in the painting's frame and detect their decay. If the time period of the frame is not dated within Shakespeare's lifetime, then the painting is probably not an original, or has been moved to a different frame. One technique we experiment with is using high-resolution digital images and complex mathematical formulas. This technique evolved from security system technologies that analyzed features in a person's photograph, then reduced these to a mathematical equation. This is a new valuable tool for antique art appraisals and fine art appraisals. Forensic analysis is the most concrete method of discovering if a painting is a forgery, but there are also stylistic and ancestral analysis of a painting that we can do as well. The painting has been owned by a family who were descendants from Shakespeare's literary patron and kept there for hundreds of years without them ever knowing who the man in the picture was. Because the lineage of the man matches up with the original owner, likely Shakespeare location where this would be painted, there is reason to believe that Shakespeare would be here for the painting and therefore gives likelihood that this is the original. You can also analyze the artist's preference, color preference, tone preference, and angles and proportions of the artist's known style. Then the painting is also, in all likelihood, authentic. Although there is no record of the original artist claiming anything of the painting, i.e. where he painted it, if it was actually Shakespeare, etc., these findings would add a new layer to the probability of being an authentic Shakespearean painting. Many of these techniques and inquiries have been done on the painting already. Though the jury is not in, sophisticated dating techniques and the opinion of experts in both camps suggest that this may, in fact, be the portrait of William Shakespeare.